Caroline Hester. So maybe Hester coming for in his game. BW more traditional. I'd like to apologize for some technical difficulties that we're currently experiencing with the webcast here this evening. A good move by number 20, Mary Bushy of Capital University, just leading to a shot there on Emily Talmadge's goal, but it sails fearlessly wide.
And the Lady Crusaders tonight have been much of the attack that we've seen in this game.
We would like to give mention to the Baldwin Wallace University Lady Yellow Jackets seniors who have been honored here tonight. And those seniors are number 1, goalkeeper Emily Talmadge, number 5, Kelsey Nemeth, number 13, Audrey Wolf, number 22, and number 22, Caddy Tucker. They all started the game here this evening, including the injured Audrey Wolf, who is out for the season, but came on for some sentimental value, if you may, kicking the first ball of the game and having her teammates rush her for hugs afterwards. So she is now off, replaced by the freshman Rachel Bender, who we know is a usual starter. So that seemed to have always been the plan from head coach Reed Ayers. Capital have a corner to be taken by Monique Haniak Jr. from Sydney.
And in their last matchup with Heidelberg, they in fact won off a corner kick, and that was the only goal of the game, which kept their record perfect in the OAC. So this is a big kick here for the Lady Crusaders.
Yeah, we know the Lady Crusaders are a very attack-laden team, if you may, and will definitely be looking to go at BW's neck here today. But Rachel Bender will definitely be looking to go at their neck as she leads a counter-attack for the Lady Yellow Jackets. And Dre, a lot of influential attacking players on this Lady Crusaders team. Any players in particular that you want to give us a heads up on in terms of the possibility of them having a major impact on this game here this evening?
Yes, there are a few actually, but the one who stands out the most as far as an attacking prowess goes is number 8, Becca Cartmill, the junior for the Lady Crusaders, with 10 goals on the season. And not too far behind her, number 14, Monique Haniak, also a junior forward, with 6 goals on the season. But a big shout out has to go to number 5 and number 6, respectively, of the Lady Crusaders, Claire Quinn and Chloe Brown, a junior and sophomore, who have 5 assists each, which both lead the team. So tonight, and also, it's worth noting that Claire Quinn got her assist last game on the game-winning corner kick. So,
And Dre, it's worthy to note that Becca Catmill has not started here for the Lady Crusaders this evening. So I don't know if that may be an injury or what, but with her definitely being the leader on offense, her supporting role will have to step up tonight and fill her shoes in order to get a win against this Lady Yellow Jackets team, who are a lot more resolute defending than maybe even their record may seem to depict. But for this Lady Yellow Jackets team, we know that they also are a strong attacking team, and that strong attack is led by the first substitute here this evening, Rachel Bender, who has 11 goals and 3 assists on the season and is very ably supported, if you may, although they seem to be operating as much of a 1-2 punch, assisting and scoring each other's goals in many games thus far this season, is Alex Elliott with 7 goals and 3 assists to give her 17 points for this Lady Yellow Jackets team. The center forward, Courtney Schutz, doesn't start here this evening, loses her place to Kelsey Nemeth, who will be looking to impress. Kelsey Nemeth coming into the game with 2 goals and no assists on the season, but has been an instrumental part of this Baldwin Wallace Lady Yellow Jackets team throughout the season. Capital demanded much of the attacking play early on. Although Baldwin Wallace has had their fair share of possession, they have seemed to just be playing the ball more in that middle third of the field instead of looking to get in behind the Capital defense. And the Capital definitely probing that Baldwin Wallace defense and trying to get them to leak goals. And senior center back Mariah Richards playing for the Lady Crusaders here this evening in her final regular season game of her career. And just looking like a towering leadership presence on the field for the Lady Crusaders thus far. Just controlling the ball at the back, encouraging them not to panic on the pressure, and connecting some good passes with her midfield.
Yeah, and that's something that the Lady Yellow Jackets need to do as well. We saw it in the last game against Ohio Northern, very aggressive on the attack. Paid off as they got the 2-0 victory over a team, too, that is very good in the OAC, especially in conference play. So if we see a little bit more of what the Lady Yellow Jackets did in their last affair here on Tressel Field, then we could be in for a good matchup this evening.
Yeah, and I think that game for the Lady Yellow Jackets should have served as a confidence boost and showed them that they could really beat any team in this conference despite the difference in record, as Ohio Northern had a much better record on the season, but as I mentioned, BW has just been unable to capitalize in terms of turning a few draws into wins, and will therefore count themselves somewhat unlucky to be in a position where they're still fighting, as they think that they should be right up there, fighting for first and second place with Capital and Ohio Northern. We see a substitution being made here with Courtney Schutz coming into the field of play to replace Kristen Lee, with about 20 minutes having elapsed here in the first half. Strong play there by senior Caddy Tucker. Although Capital are eventually able to forge a chance out, a chance which they see go wide of Emily Talmadge's goal. But a clear-cut opportunity regardless for their number 13, Allison Merva. And Merva has 1 goal and 0 assists on the season and would have been eager to add to her tally there.
Goals can really come anywhere from this Crusaders team. For example, last game, Mariah Richards, who only has 3 goals on the entire season, scored the only goal in their affair to get the victory over Heidelberg. So you see a lot of people on their roster that are capable of scoring for them at any given time. So not only do they have to keep account of those we've mentioned already, but any other Crusader out there on the field is just as much of a threat.
Oh, and some slick moves there by Monique Haniak on Lauren Hainham, as Haniak still in possession of the ball here. Leads to another chance there for Merva, as she was just falling back when taking the shot and somewhat skies it. But good signs early on for the Lady Crusaders of Capital University.
And I think the Yellow Jackets know now what tempo the Crusaders are going to play at, so they really got to keep them in check as far as the attack goes, because, again, they've been much of the attack that we've seen in this game, and we need to see a little bit more from the Yellow Jackets as well if this is going to be a game that they want to win here tonight at home.
Definitely, and I should mention that since the injury to Audrey Wolf, the Yellow Jackets have had a pretty solid formula, only really changing their left back from Ali Lakey to Corey Miller. Other than that, usually starting the same players. So it's a fairly experimental team for the Yellow Jackets here tonight, seeing that Kelsey Nemeth is involved from the beginning and Courtney Schutz was not. Rachel Bender also not involved from the beginning, but came in with less than a minute gone for the injured Audrey Wolf, who started the game for the Lady Yellow Jackets on this, her senior night. Good run down the line there from Rachel Bender as she serves the ball into Courtney Schutz. Maybe just suffering from being a little bit cold, having not started the game, as she is unable to get a good enough touch to set her up for a shot.
And again, you see on that last attack by the Yellow Jackets, Rachel Bender's speed is definitely an advantage for this team.
And it is one of the main advantages for this team, as we often see the midfield players for Baldwin Wallace just turning and hitting that ball wide right for Rachel Bender to run onto. It's an offside call here on Morgan Austin of the Capital University Crusaders. Some nice passing in tight spaces there by the Lady Yellow Jackets to get out of their defensive third, but still unable to transfer the play to their attacking third, with them just seeming to be stagnated in the middle of the field there. I'm noticing that 13th season head coach Reed Ayers is ready in a change in Cassandra Wakeman that could see them with some more creativity in that deeper midfield position, which could lead to more opportunities on goal by them, but just not enough in terms of attacking prowess by the Lady Yellow Jackets, at least not as yet here this evening. Merva so far, the number 13, Allison Merva, looking really good up top for the Crusaders, the Capital Crusaders, but just unable to take advantage of some of the opportunities that she has created for herself. But definitely putting in the work and will be looking to reap some benefits sometime soon. BW makes another change with Cassandra Wakeman entering the field of play, replacing Alex Elliott, but seemingly taking up a position higher up the field with Kelsey Nemeth remaining in that deeper lying midfield position next to Anna Poptic. And that's interesting to see, as Cassandra Wakeman usually comes on as a defensive midfielder, but I did make note of her creative ability from midfield. So maybe 13th season head coach Reed Ayers just looking to utilize that in a different manner tonight and have her start at a higher position. Attempted cross by Mary Bushy, just seen out by Rachel Bender, the freshman. And both players showing some dedication there in Cheryl Bell of the Lady Yellow Jackets and number 32 Morgan Austin of Capital University Crusaders. And it results in a corner kick for the Crusaders, which they play short. And in case you're just joining us here at Tressel Field within the George Finnie Stadium on the campus of the Baldwin Wallace University, it is your Baldwin Wallace your Baldwin Wallace University Yellow Jackets nil and the Capital University Crusaders nil. We have noted that much of the attack in play has been on the Capital side of the field here this evening. BW doing well defensively, though, as they usually do, and avoiding any serious threat on goal thus far for their senior goalkeeper playing on her senior night, Emily Talmadge from Fairview, Pennsylvania. Another shot goes high for Allison Merva, but BW want to limit these shots that she's taking. About 3 or 4 now, just going not too high or wide. And she definitely brought her shooting boots out, and BW wanted to stop these practice shots before she lasers one on target.
You're absolutely right, and that's especially so with the time of possession for the Crusaders, as they've had the ball on this side of the field a lot, and her getting those opportunities only means that, you know, at some point one of those will go in if that continues.
Yeah, Mary Bushy with a shot there on Emily Talmadge that she picks up easily at her near post. Ooh, Courtney shoots, attempts to find Cheryl Bell with a header, but Bell just unable to find her feet at the point in time in order to get a shot off and goal. And the chance goes begging for the Yellow Jackets. As we see Gracie Baker enter the field of play, replacing Cheryl Bell. Baker making just her 5th appearance of the season. And the interesting move by head coach Reed Ayers, as we don't know much of what she has to offer, but we will surely find out with about 10 minutes left in play, 10 minutes left of play in the first half of this OAC encounter. corner here for Capital. Picked up easily by senior goalkeeper Emily Talmadge. And goalkeeper goalkeeper Kim Leach just picking up a pass back there from Mary Bushy, her number 20. There's a little bit of miscommunication. Leach thinking that Rachel Bender had the last touch on that ball, but it was in fact her teammate Bushy. And now BW with a good opportunity to get a shot on goal. Courtney shoots and Anna Poptic will engineer it seems.
And this could be a huge opportunity for them to go up late in this first half.
And an opportunity that I think was somewhat wasted as Anna Poptic tried to subtly just pass the ball to Courtney Schutz, who seemed almost as unaware as the rest of the players on the field in terms of what was going on, and resulted in a late shot from her being blocked. Brianna Osborne enters the pitch for her 12th appearance for the Lady Yellow Jackets this season, replacing Rachel Bender. So 13th season head coach Reed Ayers going with some players, some unfamiliar players somewhat, to the home arena at least for the Yellow Jackets here this evening. Capital definitely enjoying the majority of the attacking play here this evening, but a very even game, as I don't think Capital has had clear-cut opportunities on goal. Somewhat of an injury scare there for number 9, Mara Fortino, but she rises quickly back to her feet, having gone down under the challenge of Lauren Haynham, who would be happy to see her All right. There's about 4 minutes left here in this encounter here at Tressel Field within the George Finnie Stadium on the campus of the Baldwin Wallace University. And it's your Baldwin Wallace University Yellow Jackets nil and the Capital University Crusaders nil. In this, the ninth OAC encounter of the season for both teams. Ball with goalkeeper Kim Leach, who will be happy that her mistake did not turn out to be detrimental to the team. Her mistake in picking up a back pass from her number 20, Mary Bushy, resulted in an indirect free kick for the Lady Yellow Jackets, but they were unable to capitalize on it. A foul there on Kelsey Nemeth by number 9, Maura Fortino, who warrants herself a yellow card, I think, more for what she said to the referee afterwards than for the actual foul. As I noticed, she is still unhappy with the decision.
You don't want to lose your composure out there. That's the last thing you want to do in a game this tight.
And the referee is one person that you don't want to be in their bad books in such a fluent game as soccer. And if you're just joining us here at Tressel Field, with about a minute left in the first period of play here at Baldwin Wallace University, it is your Baldwin Wallace University Yellow Jackets nil and the Capital University Crusaders nil. The Crusaders having the better of attacking play, but really unable to provide anything substantial thus far as both teams remain level going into the break here, unless something drastically changes with about 30 seconds left. Ooh, an attacking scare there by Caroline Hester. Just sees her shot hit in the side net in the end. But it is halftime here at Tressel Field, and it is 0-0 in this OAC encounter between the Capital University Crusaders and the Baldwin Wallace University Yellow Jackets. Stick with us as we'll be back with you in about 12 minutes or so with some statistics from the first half and the preview of what you could expect in the second half. Thank you for being with us here at bwyellowjackets.com. And we're back on the way here with second half action at Tressel Field inside the George Finnie Stadium on the campus of the Baldwin Wallace University. And it is still your Baldwin Wallace University Yellow Jackets nil and the Capital University Crusaders nil. Courtney shoots now with an opportunity to serve a ball into the box to give BW an attacking chance. It falls to Alex Elliott, who heads to Anapoptic, who then heads wide. But BW showing a little bit of attacking intent here at the beginning of the second half of play. Anything to tell us about the statistics of the previous period that would point to why BW would want to come out on the offensive here?
And we talked about it too in the first half. The attack by the Crusaders has been much in their favor opposed to Baldwin Wallace. Capital had 11 shots opposed to the Yellow Jackets 2, and Capital also had 3 corner kicks, and Baldwin Wallace has yet to get a corner kick opportunity. But Baldwin Wallace does have 4 saves, and all of those are accredited to Emily Talmadge. But if they want to make this one an interesting one, to say the least, they gotta step it up a little bit. But score is still 0-0. Anything can happen.
Yeah, definitely. And BW definitely won't be counting themselves out of this game, as they've had performances like this before where they've gone on to win. And also they've had dominant performances where they haven't gone on to win. So it's still a very open game here, in my opinion, between these two teams, and it's interesting to see how the second half of this encounter turns out. I'd like to give a huge shout out to someone, a very brave person serving his country over there in Afghanistan. That person being Heath Reichenbach of the U.S. Air Force. Heath, thank you for tuning in to our broadcast here on BWYellowJackets.com, and I surely hope you're enjoying it. Continue to be that standing rock in many Americans' life. Thank you for your service to the country. Play beginning much as it ended in the first half with just many exchanges of possession and some nippy play by both teams.
And you're going to get that nippy play, especially in a game of this magnitude tonight. We talk about how the confidence booster should have went to BW after a big win over Ohio Northern here earlier in this week, and also the Crusaders who come in very confident, 8-0 in conference, 12-4 overall. So with that, we've already seen a lot of chippy play out there. We're going to continue to see that as long as both teams are trying to put up their first goal of the evening as well.
A handball there called on Courtney Schutz in the BW attacking third. So Capital now with a chance to clear their lines. Alex Elliott just attempting to get something going here for the Yellow Jackets, as much of their attacking play has resulted in frustration, unable to get through that capital kind of midfield wall actually, and haven't really had many chances on goal.
Yeah, that's been the theme of this team for the Yellow Jackets this evening. It's either been a good defensive stand or just the calls by the ref being called, both of which haven't been going in their favor, but still plenty of time with over 36 minutes to go in the second half.
Yeah, definitely, and I don't think that BW will be too worried, as they're in such a situation that it would be hard for them to not make OAC. Well, they're definitely making OAC postseason play, and I think they'll be hosting a game also as they sit on 15 points. Mount Union, the next team below them with 12 points, and could only catch them on points if BW lose here tonight and Mount Union get a victory. So yeah, I think both teams still want to go out and get a win in this game to improve their standing going into conference tournament play. But I think we're just seeing a little bit of comfort from both teams. 13th season head coach Reed Ayers bringing out some players that don't usually see a lot of playing time in in the early exchanges, and maybe just experimenting with the squad for the upcoming tournament. Ball forward by the number 20 Mary Bushy, not really finding its intended target as it goes out for a goal kick to BW Yellow Jackets. Cheryl Bell just outdone by the pace of number 32 Morgan Austin, who recovers to clear the ball, but gives BW a throw in deep in their attacking half here. Something that we know Courtney Shute specializes in with that long throw. Ball by Courtney Shute releases Rachel Bender down the right. Bender with a cross to Cheryl Bell, who attempts to bring the ball down under control, although I think she should have had a one-time shot there, as the ball is eventually picked up by goalkeeper Kim Leach.
You got to think if she just took the shot straight off the cross, a better chance of getting that goal for the Yellow Jackets could have been done. However, you can't blame them. They're getting their opportunities now much more than they have in the first half, and that's what you like to see, especially against a strong team like the Capital Crusaders.
Baldwin Wallace just bringing themselves more and more into this game as this second half goes on. And I think the more likely team to get something going on attack currently, as they have had the majority of possession and in the better areas also.
It's almost like a tale of two halves. Crusaders absolutely dominated possession in the first half, and now you see Baldwin Wallace maybe not dominating like they did, however, definitely have the advantage, just playing a little bit harder this half. And I think they know what's at stake, too. With under 30 minutes to go in the second half, they don't want to rush anything, but they know what this mean could win for their season if they in fact get it over the Crusaders tonight.
Yeah, and they do in fact know what this mean could win for this season, as you mentioned, Dre. But But the Lady Yellow Jackets just coming out and trying to improve their attacking standing in the second half and succeeding in doing so, creating a few half chances for themselves. Not sure what exactly it's turned into in terms of real chances, but at least showing the intent. And I think they'd still want to get the win here tonight in order to send their seniors out on a good note, this being their senior night. But Capital, I should mention, would also be eager to get the win because that would see them closing out OAC play at 9-0 and undefeated on the season, which I think is an amazing feat that they definitely have in their headlights. And we see a substitution here for the Yellow Jackets with Marissa Fabrizi seeing her first action of the night, coming on in the midfield to replace the senior Kelsey Nemeth.
Some more chippy play there.
Yeah, but the chippy play is mutual. I think
It is.
both teams just being very physical on and off the ball.
It certainly is. I think anticipation is building. I think one of these teams want to crack open this game with a score, but both, being aggressive, but at the same time, not doing anything to put themselves in danger either. But I think, given how this game is going, that as the minutes dwindle down, that you're going to see a little bit more.
Yeah, other than on the right side, number 20, Mary Bushy for the Crusaders, and number 21 on the left side here for the Yellow Jackets, Corey Miller. Both teams have been rather conservative in defense. Those players going forward, but the other three defenders kind of remain in deep back in unison throughout the game. So both teams remaining resolute at the back, I think their primary concern, but still looking to go out and get this goal as Corey Miller is on the attack right now. It looks like the ball from Cheryl Bell will just be a little bit too long for her. Goes out for a goal kick to Capital University Crusaders. And if you're just joining us here at Tressel Field within the George Finnie Stadium on the campus of the Baldwin Wallace University, it is your Baldwin Wallace University Yellow Jackets nil and the Capital University Crusaders nil with about 25 minutes left in the second half of this both teams' ninth OAC encounter. Shot there by the Crusaders, just going high and wide. Coming in from number 32, Morgan Austin.
The Crusaders haven't been afraid to take shots from distance tonight. There's been quite a few that have gone left and right of the crossbar, but not necessarily in, as the score remains 0-0. But that's accredited to the defense that the Yellow Jackets have played, particularly in the second half, where the attack is not as great as it has been for the Crusaders, with over 23 minutes to go in this one, and an offsides call on the Crusaders. And offsides was number 17, Caitlin Selmsberger.
A rich period of attacking play there by Capital. Broken up by Corey Miller in the end, as Cheryl Bell attempts to break but is deemed to have went out of bounds in the process.
Had she been able to stay in bounds, that would have been quite the attack for the Yellow Jackets coming from the other side, which almost resulted in the goal for the Crusaders. So very good back-to-back play here. With still a lot of time, over 20 minutes to go in the second half. Game at 0-0. Both teams remain to play very conservative, but like I mentioned before, and if you're just joining us, that this type of game that we're seeing out here tonight will not stay conservative for long, especially for two teams that don't necessarily need a win, but it would be very nice. But then again, you always need a win. That's what you're out there for.
And Capital bringing themselves back into the game in terms of attack, just lurking around the BW attacking third for the past few minutes. Kelsey Nemeth re-enters the game as Marissa Fabrizi takes her leave, seemingly with an injury. So we hope Marissa Fabrizi is all right, as she seemingly hobbled off the field somewhat. So corner now to Capital University. They'll be looking to take this opportunity to get a goal.
They've had 4 already.
Yeah, with about 8 minutes left here. With about 18 minutes left here in the second half encounter, both teams will be eager to get a goal here tonight and not go into added time, especially with the OAC tournament coming up. They'd like to avoid any extra soccer being played. Cheryl Bell just on the floor in a little bit of discomfort, but attempting to rise to her feet as she does here after that challenge by Morgan Austin. Bell will now leave the field as Gracie Baker and number 3, Brianna Osborne, enter the field of play once again, having seen minutes in the first half. Corey Miller advancing far down the pitch to then be tackled by Morgan Austin, who is doing a shift here on defense within the past few minutes, attempting to keep Baldwin Wallace at bay.
And both teams really have kept one another in check this half.
Yeah, both teams just negating the effect of each other, both on offense and on defense. And I think the team that, if any team gets a breakthrough here within these final 16 minutes or so, they will go on to win the game. So interesting to see what both attacks could conjure up with 60 minutes of play left here at Tressel Field. And an unusually misplaced pass by Lauren Hanum on the right-hand flank leads to a throw-in for Capital. Game being played at a very fast pace and pretty rough within the past few minutes. Capital now advancing. Last minute stuff out by Lauren Hainham to avoid what would have surely been a clear-cut opportunity on goal for number 20, Mary Bushy of the Capital University Crusaders.
And the way she split the defense there is very impressive. Had Lauren Heyman not been there,
Yeah,
I could,
very. Oh,
yeah,
sorry.
goal. I could see a goal being.
Very impressive, but also very worrisome from a BW perspective, as I think the defenders were somewhat turned off there, and she just took advantage and split them. Shot there coming from the left side of the Capital attack goes just wide of goalkeeper Emily Talmadge as we hear a collective ooh from the crowd below us.
It's always fun to hear how excited the crowd is getting. I mean, you hear them for much of the game too while we're up here. You know, encouraging the players out there. Maybe sometimes not agreeing with the officials. It's fun atmosphere in George Finnie Stadium.
Yeah, always a fairly good turnout here um, at the Baldwin Wallace University, and always very engaged in the game. Something I like about this crowd. You can hear the emotion flowing through them as the game goes on. Lauren Hainham once again with an important stop in her defensive box. A change here now for Baldwin Wallace as freshman Rachel Bender enters the game in an attempt to add to her 11 goals and 3 assists on the season, replacing the number 3, Brianna Osborne. Some good play by BW. Leads to somewhat of a half chance for Anapoptic, but ball just at an uncomfortable height as she was unable to do anything with it really. But the Yellow Jackets have a throw-in in their attacking third.
Nevertheless, a great opportunity there for Anapoptic. Just had to been a little bit more in her range. You never know what could have came of that.
Some decent footwork by the number 12, Jennifer Vandevender, almost leads to an opportunity for Capital, but they're just unable to connect that final pass that would have seen a chance fall to one of their players. So ball goes the other way with BW in possession. Just about 9 minutes left in this encounter here, of regular time at least, as it looks like the game may be headed for a bit of added time. But let's not talk about that yet, as there's still 9 minutes for both these teams to get something going in terms of a goal. And Gracie Baker exits the field for the reintroduction of Cheryl Bell, the senior. Rachel Bender goes past her player, puts the ball into the box, looking for Courtney Schutz, but it is cut out by number 35, Maria Richards. Ooh, Courtney Schutz looking for Anna Poptic on a pass in the 18-yard box, but is unable to find her.
And these opportunities are coming again and again for Baldwin Wallace.
Again and again for both teams, I think
Yeah.
these half opportunities at least fall in, but they're just unable to take advantage.
You got to think one's got to give for one of these teams while time still remains in regulation play.
And Capital University have a corner here and an opportunity to probably capitalize. No pun intended.
Or was it?
And it is a goal for the Capital University Crusaders. Corner just ended up on the other side of the field and eventually put back into the middle and finished by, it looks like, the number 6, Chloe Brown, getting a goal here with about 7 minutes left in this OAC encounter.
And Chloe Brown has the most shot on targets tonight. That's given because of all the corner kick opportunities, of course, because she plays on defense. But she's also the leading assist goer for these Capital Crusaders as well. But showing it all tonight.
Yeah, I think she's taken up a higher position on the field, playing more of an attacking midfield role as we see her now defending Kelsey Nemeth. And I think she's taken on that position well. And it's led to not only some added attack for this Capital team, but a goal now for her, which may be the winner with 6 minutes left in this encounter. And in the absence of Becca Catmill, the number 8, I think Chloe Brown has been asked to play a higher position up the field and has taken it in her stride and done very well there tonight.
She has, and the sophomore has certainly stepped up here. Now, like as you mentioned, the game 1-0 with a little over 6 minutes to go. And it's also something I mentioned earlier. Every game it seems like this Capital team just has another person step up and get the job done for them. So again, like I said before, it could have been anybody tonight. And again, it's one of the usual suspects, Chloe Brown, maybe not so much on the attack, but nevertheless, the impact that she brings for this Capital Crusaders team.
Definitely, and that's the trait. That's a trait of a good team when you have multiple players who could step up and provide the goods in any given game. So it's Chloe Brown here tonight, and BW have significant amount of work to do within these last 5 minutes of play if they're to ensure that they don't see defeat here tonight.
It's just one of those type of games too. It was always going to come down to it to late in the game for one of these teams, just given how they both approached the game tonight. You can't really say either team has played poorly because both teams have played pretty evenly, both good teams too, and it's just again those Capital Crusaders. It's just been their year.
Yeah, I agree with you, Dre. Very, very even proceedings tonight. Both teams not playing poorly, but just negating each other's attacks to the point where the game was played a lot in the middle third of the field. Capital definitely the more attacking inclined team on the night, but I don't think. Well, I mean, it shows in the scoreline, but I don't. I think that BW had ample chance, ample opportunity to get a goal themselves and will be disappointed a little bit here this evening. But both these teams have already booked a ticket in Ohio Athletic Conference tournament play, and I don't think BW will be too discouraged
No.
as this is a team that is 8-0 on the season, looking for their ninth win in the OAC here, which will see them close out the regular season undefeated and be OAC champions.
And this is a team in Baldwin Wallace that will remember a game like this and take it with them as they go into postseason play, because you only get stronger from games like this.
Yeah, and I think the hope for Baldwin Wallace would be that they could come across this Capital team once again in postseason play and use what they've learned here tonight to serve them in a victory on that day. So, with about 3 minutes left here, it is the Capital University Crusaders 1, the Baldwin Wallace University Yellow Jackets 0.
And a little clash or collide
Collision.
collision, trying to put the two words together with Talmadge and number 27 of the Crusaders, Megan Tolner.
Goalkeeper Kim Leach with the ball in her hands. As BW looked to make a substitution in the last-ditch attempt here to get a goal and force extra time in this game as Cassandra Wakeman enters the field of play, replacing Corey Miller. Ooh, and a good shot off the left boot of Kelsey Nemeth forces the Capital goalkeeper into a save.
What a beautiful save, too. Wow. Everything about that play was just spectacular.
Cassandra Caddy Tucker actually with a corner that travels outside the field of play for a goal kick to Capital.
And if it was going to be anything for this Yellow Jackets team, I think that was it. That was on the foot of Kelsey Nemeth, who had a beautiful shot on goal. And Capital's goalkeeper, Kim Leach, just able to get that hand up and nullify the shot and seal the deal for this Capital Crusaders team.
Yes, and you see the excitement in this Capital team as they end OAC play undefeated and are regular season champions. Baldwin Wallace team looking a little bit dejected at the moment, but know that they have tournament play in order to make up for this and some other mishaps they have had in the OAC. We'll be back with you shortly with some post-game statistics and let you know when next you can catch us on air.